especially then catching Tribe off guard repeatedly. Hard Rock Mine, pretty cut and dry map, but some things can come out of the woodworks to surprise you, like the occasional Ash, and each team only gets 3 bans, so good luck stomping out all of those little fires.
A lot of fires. I see what you did there. Because if we're going to talk about bans, we have to discuss what Amber's been up to lately. When it comes down to gem grab, I think when it comes down to Amber, she's kind of map dependent. We always used to like to look at her with respects to grass, but now the way the oil works, I think she's a little bit more open. And anytime I'm playing gem grab, I want to control this mid. So certainly worth thinking about. And is that a Shelly ban? Do we have a Shelly ban up there?
Yeah, usually when we see a Shelly ban, we point the finger and we go like, oh, whoops, I'm getting a transmission from production that was actually supposed to be something else. But no, yeah, the Shelly's legit here. So that's not actually that mysterious. She's gotten a bit of a buff. She can get in those backlines, and STMN do have the last pick. So maybe it's a very real possibility.
It could be. I mean, Shelly, we saw her played in a different region today. So certainly the rumblings have begun. We'll see what the butterfly effect is a little bit later. For stamina, RT and a Penny locked in here. Long range turret, sure. RT has been, I mentioned before that I think RT's skill floor is really high, meaning in order to just do the bare minimum on him, you've got to be pretty strong on the camera boy. And so I think we've just now, RT's been out for a little while, we're just now kind of seeing players really kind of utilize the split half nonsense, and I think we will only see better and better RT play as time goes on. So I sort of like this choice. We got to see how they play it on the field for sure.
Yeah, I think RT is definitely a very worthy topic to discuss here, right? Because yes, we see some players exploring like the rest of his kit, because typically the way that he's played is he's either played as just a sharpshooter, or he, is a sharpshooter most of the time, and then you get in close range, and then he hits you for 4,000 damage, and you instantly die. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I've said it a lot, and I'll echo it once again. There's just no counterplay really for this brawler. Now, he might not be the best sharpshooter in the game, but it's the impact that he has on draft simply by existing, by having very few counters. That is the bigger discussion to be had. We'll see the response so far has consisted of the stew. Sandy is a bit of an interesting one to me from STMN, considering that this is going to be kept at range a lot, I anticipate, by the stew. So this has got to be more dedicated towards getting in those back lines and doing sort of the same thing Ash would do. It has the added benefit, though, of doing a great job of preventing anyone on Wash Team from seeing these guys. No one on Wash Team has more than like a single target projectile. They're not able to scout out that Sandstorm effectively.
Pain on Stu. This is a great example of just a pocket pick. Stu, good. Yes, we like to watch Stu a lot of the time. He's a great gem carrier. Going to be looking out for him playing. I expected him in the mid, and I expected him on Pain. But anyways, my point was going to be how well Pain plays Stu. So it's up to Alyanis to live up to that dream, and Sands just walking him down. See you later. Right side goes the way of Stamina, but left side kind of leaning the way towards Washed. And mid, Stamina's the one picking up the gems. Bobby, 5 in total for the moment. As Wash Team return the kill on the Sands, but ready. It's all Stamina right now.
Sure is. That could change, though, with some of these walls breaking on the right side. Good call from Alyanis to get rid of that. See Sands sort of lurking very defensively now, maybe waiting for someone to push in versus him playing to Alyanis' defensiveness as well. Bobby also needs to get some gems over here. Going to be zoned out for the time being. Pain might have an opportunity. Sands also taking advantage of that lapse in defense on the right side. Sandstorm down. A lot of these bushes scouted out, in so much area control afforded for STMN. Just one more gem. That's an easy win as they look to walk it back. Got to see a lot of mobility from Wash Team if they want to interrupt.
Bobby grabs the 10th gem and then sends a shot east side. That might confirm it. Although Batuchas is pretty close. Zara's going to shade up, and so will Sands, and that's going to be it. Stamina winds up taking game.
Sands just kind of wait there. wait there. Okay, maybe I'll play aggressive. Okay, maybe I'll just win this lane real quick. And that's the rest of the game. Get one super. No one can see. STMN gets to clear things out really easily. Sandy, he's been a good brawler for a while. It's just that vision gear is one of those things that keeps him from being that good as of late. And there's not really any brawler that can easily get vision gear procced onto someone, which is a big issue for Wash Team facing the Sandy.
That's actually a really, really big deal. The fact that you just vision gear isn't going to work out on the other side. Sandy tosses down the super, and again, this lets Stamina just clean up. Bobby picks them all up, but Bobby falls down again. And this time the gems are in a bad spot. Wash Team could go to pick these up. Now Giannis is low, is on the stew though, so has those dashes. And we see Wash Team scoop them all up. 8 gems, 5 on Payne's Bell, only 3 on the elusive stew. So the gems popped, and Batuchas picks them up. Zar misses the last shot. Here comes Sands. Stamina still can't pick him up though.
Have to wonder how good that gym positioning was for Wash Team, because it seemed like they couldn't come to a consensus on who would pick them up. It left that right lane wide open for Sands to sneak back once again, and he gets a super off of it too. This is devastating for Wash Team. They really can't push out a spawn at the moment, and they could even get taken down in their own spawn. Aliana's frozen up, easy kill for Bobby. Payne taking lots of damage at the back lines. He's marked up, and he's got almost no health left. STMN get to start to bring things back. A good takedown of Sands on the right actually will allow Wash Team to keep on pushing up, but they're battered and bruised. Not a whole lot of health to work with. They will be tied up on the gym count. This is a fantastic situation for STMN.
8 all. Gem number 9 for either team in the middle. It is going to be Bobby that picks it up alongside number 10. Now 15 seconds is enough time to go ahead and kind of match this, so Stamina do need a little bit of control as well. 1 gem on the floor picked up. That second gem, not gonna, no, Payne tries, can't make it. So
he loves this brawler, he's able to play it, but here's the other thing with STMN is they're really, really tricky. Goodbye to Hard Rock Mine. There's not really going to be another map like it in the rest of this match, so they can afford to let that trick go to the wayside, pull out something new that they prepared for Hot Potato.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Maps like Hard Rock Mine.
It's very control-based in a lot of ways, and Hot Potato is a lot more aggression-based. I think also the other thing is it's a very cut-and-dry map, and the vast majority of the remaining maps in this competition today are ones that are just now entering the competitive map pool once again, so not going to really be able to surprise someone as effectively on these new maps where, well, kind of everything's a surprise.
Well, our picks and bans are coming out here. No surprise with respect to some of the bans. The RT gone, as well as the Meg. She's been very, very dominant across the board, across regions. Just ban her out is probably the right choice. The Dynamite ban is interesting, but really what you see is Dynamite and Barley. STMN want to get rid of throwers in general. Asterisk, Dynamite, we've seen some success lately, but definitely just looking at throwers primarily. Or, excuse me, Rico there. So Barley going to be selected, so trying to get fewer throwers on the other side.
I'm surprised that STMN would play into Anita when they first picked Barley. It just doesn't really seem like a good mix. Wash Team are playing Nita into one of the biggest Nita counters, with Zara picking up that one. They still have a counter pick. They might be able to salvage this, but I'm actually not really too hopeful. There's one thing that Wash Team do have in their arsenal, which is the Max, which can be quite effective for Ims if you can rush her down. Aside from that, though, yeah, here's the Carl. Close range versus Ims. Still, I think, going to be quite effective if you're able to close in, but aside from that, I really do have to hand it to STMN here. I think it might be a blunder to be picking that Nita into a Barley.
A little bit tough here, for sure. I think Nita, we saw some Nita selections recently as well. Nita, I think, needs to be a later draft selection, just because this is the second time we've had Nita in a draft, and I hear my analysts kind of say, the other team might be able to just step on her. And that's kind of what happened the last time around. So, Hot Potato, I think Nita can make use in this middle lane in the grass. But in NA East, we didn't see her play in that middle lane. And so questions abound. Petuches on the Nita, left side. Okay, goes mid and takes down Bobby and trying to battle with Ems and is able to deploy the bear onto the safe, and that's the goal.
Wow, well, yeah, Coach F. out here knows what's up. Easy rush down with Anita from mid, and Alianis actually gets to sort of finish off the job. Big takedowns onto that safe. 65% remain, but they've taken their fair share of a beating too, especially Bobby on the Barley on the right side. Alianis is going to have to come to deal with him, but there needs to be a pinch to get him out of here. Payne also has some speed to work with, has to defend versus Sands at the same time. Alianis might take responsibility here. No bear for Betiches. Sands could actually finish it off. STMN. This is actually fantastic for them. They baited out the speed from Wash Team. 8% remain on their safe.
Alianis got the kill on a Bobby and dropped the stamina pin. Now that's gaming. But Stamina are really the ones with the game in their hands. Bobby gets a kill. Sands and Czar are still feeling pretty healthy. Batuch is slowed down and killed by Czar. That might be the door. Here comes Ems, and it's slammed shut.
Close and personal with brawlers that were not strong in close range. They might be able to pull it off again. Payne also going to be one of those brawlers that, well, gives Betiches quite a bit of speed to work with. I think prudent lane switch also with Bobby now taking the left lane. Betiches didn't switch it up at all, and Bobby's just going to hard counter the heck out of this matchup. So what we're talking about pre-match, and STMN already gets some easy damage on that safe.
I mean, you want to talk about hard counter. I'm looking at Sands here, right? Batuches on this Nita really wants to make use of this mid lane grass that I was talking about, and Ems just won't let that happen. Sands has been playing lights out, not just with the selection, which of course is the team choice, but actually the play on the field. Ems has been doing a ton of damage, creating a ton of space, more importantly, and even with Alianis getting the cheeky kill there in the mid, I don't know how much room Wash Team has with Sands doing stuff like this. 2 kills for Sands.
Czar's going to come in to finish that work. Bobby also might be able to contribute some. Nope, not even needed.
Save her for a 3rd pick, I think. I think she has to be an answer. Selecting too early is kind of destination failure. But we've got Destination Ring of Fire right now. This is going to be set number 3. We'll do Brawl Ball and Knockout if we see a victory here out of Wash Team. But at the moment, everything's coming up Millhouse for Stamina.
I mean, it's looking great for them. This is a good mode for Stamina to finish things off, and if they want to play hyper-aggressive, yeah, they can play hyper-aggressive here. Wash Team, it's hard to exactly identify where their strengths lie because we haven't really seen a whole lot from their side. It's been real quiet on Wash Team's side. So they will get the last pick this time. Might open up some opportunities, especially for some of their more tank-oriented brawlers. Payne absolutely comes to mind. Here's the Lu pick from them, and this is also a pretty storied pick in this sort of region of NA West. So I'm anticipating Wash Team to play this really, really well. I do understand some of the counters that STMN will often go for, though. This could just be one of those moments where they say, okay, Sands, Czar, get on the steal.
Could be.
Oh,
at the moment, it's going to be Ruffs. Why is that never mind?
Well, Colonel Ruffs is just such a hard counter, and Penny is banned out, so there's just not really a whole lot of ways you can deal with those Ruffs bags. Okay, never mind. Here's Stamina with the Janet. I don't really see Stu following this, though.
Bell is going to be the one following up. So yeah, no Stu this time around. Long range stuff out of Bobby or Bell and Gray, and then, well, more long range stuff. Technically, she's in the sky. It's not that long range, it's close range, but you know what I'm saying. So we've got a lot of safe damage here for STMN. I think that's my big takeaway. We don't see a lot of the area denial that I like to see in sort of a quintessential hot zone composition. Usually I want to see some like Lou or some honey molasses, just some nonsense there. Instead, we just have outright brawl. STMN are coming to the table saying we win team fights, no gimmicks. We'll see if it pays off.
It's a big question mark, really, because this is another one of those situations where I think that Wash Team, they've selected some good brawlers that have a lot of potential on this map, but do they really work together? I mean, I also think that there's some pretty reactionary play here. They have selected the Colonel Ruffs into the Gray, but Lou is one of those picks where if he gets outranged and you're not getting his supers, then there's no point in playing him because he's only good because of his super. His shot isn't really that good. His gadget's not usable unless you have your super. It's unfortunate. If he's able to get some good dodges and line up those shots, it'll be a much different story, though.
Well, Bobby right now completely avoiding what Payne's bringing in the mid lane on the Lou. And Czar kind of doubling in the mid lane. Now Sans showing up. So a lot of stamina points here in the mid just this early on. About a third of the way done here as Batuchas gets pulled and pushed. Sans again on the good side of things. As Bobby, long range, classic.
Oh, wow. Sans teleport over to the right side. Flashy stuff. They were not ready to let go of that right lane. Oh my gosh, Sans, chill out, man. Even the gadget popped onto Payne, too, to keep him out of there. Bobby now comes in for a piece of it, but Aliana shuts him down. This guy is dedicated to keeping this right lane clear. Now Czar is also looking to pick a fight. A little teleport in from Sans there to take things down. Last bit of sandbags coming down as well from Alianas, but they're quickly dispelled. It's just teleports all over the place from STMN. You don't often see a team using each other's teleports this often, but STMN have the team fights. It's like you said, they win team fights. And even when this ice is down on the ground, they'll still find a way to push back in. It's looking like a win for them already, but Wash teams still have a bit of time to respond.
I love the way that Sans is using this teleport. Obviously, the team is milking the heal from the port for sure, but really just making sure that they can pop back and forth. They're not trying to surprise the opponent, which is really like the composition from Washed a lot. But you made the point originally. Lou's just kept it range. And that's it. That's the whole thing, man. Payne just can't do anything.
That's the thing, yeah. If Payne wants to connect these shots, he has to get within Bobby's range, which Bobby is going to not allow if he can afford it. And then he's got to get good dodges. And even when he tries, Czar, Sans, they know that they can hop in and punish because this guy is just a sitting duck. We will see, though, takedown on Wash team's back lines. Bobby has to be forced back. Betaches will find an opportunity to sneak into some of these bushes. Payne gets a takedown and a super all the way back at STMN spawn. But Sans has that teleport. It's like you said, the combat blink in and maybe out if he gets the teleport. Alianas is carefully guarding it. Takedown from Czar. Little switcheroo here too, and STMN are back in the lead.
I was just going to highlight here how Wash goes ahead and gets this and gets a big. They get to play the game because Stamina just lost. Sans does the same thing he does in game number 1, but loses the matchup. And Bobby dies in mid, doing the same thing he did in game number 1, but loses the matchup. And then allows Wash team to get in. Stamina here have an ego draft where they are expecting to outplay their opponent, and that's exactly what they're doing. 50% to 29 and counting upwards for the red team. They're on match point, and it's been like 13 minutes, man.
And on top of that, this is some of the most unhinged Gray gameplay I've ever seen. Sans not going to get out of this one, it doesn't look like. Alianas pops down the sandbags. It's an easy kill for him. Little supply drop down for Betaches, gives him a whole lot more health to work with. Stunned and also slowed down with the use of that super combined with the bear trap. Czar now
the two of them!
His back lines teleport in from Sans. It's a takedown. Last one remaining is Aliana's final set of sandbags, but you can't do that versus Czar. He's got a piercing shot, and STMN could finish it out here.
This is huge for Stamina, honestly playing with their food a little bit as we see 2 players off the point now trying to zone. Actually, I'll take that back. With this sharpshooter composition, that's kind of what you have to do. Bring the fight to the opponent. Stamina, though, lose out because of it. And so now Wash team counting up from 50. 2 kills on the side of Stamina, and that should all but secure it. Alianas, just a dog with a gun. He's able to get 1, but not 2. And Stamina get the whole dang match. And they're going to finals.
Star-studded roster and a brilliant resume, too, as they have added one of the fastest matches that we have seen this entire month to that resume. What a performance. Pulled absolutely 0 punches.